So I'm going to try to do this review spoiler free as possible, make it a quickie, and hopefully get you enticed to watch this series. Now, I personally kind of had this on the list for quite a long time, and it's something that I haven't really gotten to until now, which is, 21 years later. Let's see if I can even pronounce it right. Texhnolyze. If I get that totally wrong, help me out in the comments. But holy crap. So, as most of you know, I'm a huge fan of crime, psychological, sci-fi, thriller-esque type of things, and this show did not prove me wrong. There's a few things in the beginning that kind of like throw you off in the first 4 or 5 episodes, and most of it has to do with our MC Ichise, who doesn't really say much, and you kind of have to throw a bunch of things together with Ichise, and we get into this kind of world that is not necessarily our world, because it's not. It's a separate place, and it's dark, and there's crime, and there's organizations like we got Onishi is a part of one of these organizations. You got Shinji as a part of another organization. And then there is an other man as well that runs the union. And I'm trying to think of his name at the moment. I think it's Motoharu. And they've got these 3 like organizations and crimes trying to keep, I guess, quote unquote, peace in the city, which is mostly, Onishi's type of thing. And he hears the voice of the city, and which we come to find out later on is, a huge plot point to it. However, it almost gives this feeling of nothingness and everything at once. Trying to find out where you belong, and I guess finding it in the end and seeing everything around you and what is going on and finding your purpose. However, this series does have a very nihilistic point of view in some points, and just the way they kind of string you along and make you want to keep going and watch more is something that I think really drew me in, because it's not necessarily the fact that, it's depressing that keeps you going. It's more the fact that you want to just keep watching. Like, every episode you watch, the further you get, the faster the episodes feel. Especially once they introduce the character of Yoshi into the plot line to be a more important character. And that's when things start to really heat up and get the ball rolling. Especially with our main character Ichise, and Ran as well is a big important character that does get the ball moving as well. And man, it's one of those things that I did not expect to love as much as I did. I ended up giving this series a 10 out of 10, which I don't do very often. I think I only have like 13, 14 of them, and some of them are sequels to each other out of, my hundreds of, scores and everything. It just really stuck to me that much. Will it be worth the rewatch value? I think so, because there's a few things I'd like to pick up again now that I kind of know what's going on. For some people, I could see it not being a show period to watch the first time. If you I guess get into sadness and darkness a little too much, I could totally understand not wanting to watch this show the first time, let alone a second time. However, I do highly recommend giving it a go. From a directorial standpoint, I think it's done just absolutely brilliantly, considering it is original material, not based on anything whatsoever. It does have its a little bit of flaws, and the pacing is, I think it's a good pace, but I could see how some people think it'd be too slow or not good enough. It is what it is. But I do know Studio Madhouse took this and they did a fantastic job. And, in today's modern audience, a lot of people probably couldn't handle it or understand it. But I have faith, if you're watching this video, or if you're like somebody that's just absolutely into, like, I'm trying to think of like a good example would be Ego Proxy, Gungrave, Psychopaths, even From the New World, maybe even Ghost in the Shell. Just some recommendations on top of it. If you're really into those, I think you'll love this. It's a nice 22 episode series. Like I said, dark. It's going to take you some time to get through it and watch it emotionally. But overall, highly recommend this series. Give it a go. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this quick little 5-minute review. If you got anything to say about this show, add it down in the comments. If you really enjoyed this, leave a like. If you feeling really generous, hit that subscribe button. Helps the channel out a lot. But yeah, this has been Squids, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.